If I was starting on YouTube in 2024, let me start by telling you what I would not do, because there is so much BS advice out there, and honestly, it pisses me off because so many YouTubers and entrepreneurs can be stepping into their full income and impact potential if they realize these things. Leave a comment down below letting me know which ones you agree and which ones you disagree with, but I know these things because I am a Kajabi expert and I help their client base with their YouTube channels. Also, I was a 4-year intern for TEDx, and I built a 6-figure business around this channel very quickly. So if I was starting fresh, I would not measure my success by my views and by my subscribers. Also, I would not do any fancy editing. I wouldn't spend all this money on fancy equipment. I wouldn't strive for perfect SEO. I wouldn't try to be like someone who I'm not and try to copy everyone else. I wouldn't try to follow this perfect script. Also, I wouldn't try to follow this very perfect posting schedule. I wouldn't not post YouTube shorts. And I wouldn't fall into the belief that I need a high budget or I need to be super perfect on camera. And so here's what I would do. Instead of measuring my success by my views and by my subscribers, I would measure my success by the value that I'm putting out there. How well do people resonate with my content, even if only 2 or 3 people watch? Do I deliver value? Do I show up as my best? And more importantly, does this personally fulfill me? I always tell my clients that posting on YouTube is a personal development journey because you are on a mission to make a difference in the world, to spread your message, to make an impact on other people, but also you are on a mission to fulfill the highest, most truthful expression of yourself. And so that's how you want to measure success. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you get 2 or 3 views. I think society has gotten so wacky with the number of views because it is not proportionate with the amount of impact and income that you make. I went to a Tai Lopez event and he was saying that one of his clients, and you can watch the video right here where he said it, he was saying that one of his clients only got like 5 views on his videos. However, he was able to impact his clients' lives on a really high level because he had an offer, which was in the tens of thousands, I forget exactly. But again, don't think of this like sales, because yes, he did make them an offer and they did end up purchasing something in there, but don't think of it like sales. Think of it like an exchange of value. Those 5 people who showed up to watch his videos, he was able to help them on a really high level in the niche. I believe it was real estate. And so that is the right metric. How well can you impact someone beyond just a YouTube video? You know, what can you offer? What resources? What tools? What support? And when you do that, you're not just treating your channel like a hobby. You're treating it like a business. You're treating it like a personal brand. And so that's what you want to do instead. Also, a lot of YouTubers think that, oh, I need to have fancy editing. And so they either spend a lot of time or a lot of money on editing. But the truth of the matter is that I've seen videos, and I'm sure you have too, where there's little to no editing. Look at this video right here. You know, like you could spend hours, spend a bunch of money to get a video edited only to get the same amount of views. And so I believe that if you need to have a bunch of editing in order for your audience to pay attention, that shows that you've attracted an audience with a low attention span. And so you want to attract an audience with a high attention span. And so let's say this video here got 100 views, but most people watch from beginning to end. That's more valuable than a video over here that got 100,000 views, but people didn't watch from beginning to end, and they needed all those edits in order to stay, paying attention to you. And so especially if you're treating your channel like a business, you want to attract clients who are energetically invested. And so if they can't even watch like a 10-15 minute video all the way through on a topic, it shows that they don't have a good attention span, or they're not really serious about the content or the subject matter. And so even nowadays, I made a whole video about how retention editing is really like out of date. So Mr. Beast, he made retention editing really popular, where the scene changes literally every second. There's all this text, all these graphics. And I'm not saying you shouldn't ever have editing. You can absolutely have it, but you shouldn't need it on all your videos. You should be able to do raw videos like this, or it doesn't have to be where you're talking to the camera. Maybe you're doing a tutorial, maybe you're doing something with your hands. And you don't need to have perfect editing. Even try going live. I did an interview in person with Gary Vee, and he actually posted the same video on his YouTube channel. You could check it out, of us talking. And he was even saying you want to mix it up. You don't always have to have, editing in all your videos. Try to mix up the format, how you do it. Like me, I'm doing this in my car. Sometimes I'm walking along the beach. Sometimes I'm doing a demonstration on my computer. And so you don't need to always have perfect editing or the perfect equipment. just use what you have now. The best camera is already in your pocket, or maybe you have a tablet, or maybe you have a laptop. Even right now, I'm just filming this on my phone and I forgot my tripod, so I have to hold it with my hand, which is kind of sore. But, you don't need fancy equipment. You could just use what you have right here. And one of my clients actually, I told him this. I was like, all you need is your phone. But he was like, he had a budget, so he was like, I'm actually just going to buy like a camera. I'm going to buy like a teleprompter. And you can absolutely do that. You can absolutely invest your money in equipment. I'm not discouraging that. However, for him, he actually came back and said, yeah, Ari, I should have listened to you. It took me a long time to figure out how to use the camera and the teleprompter. And he was like, honestly, the teleprompter app on my phone just works much better. And so, yeah, he was fumbling around with the camera for hours, and it was actually harder for him to create content. And when he actually got it set up, I mean, you can imagine he was very drained, he was very frustrated, so he didn't show up effectively on camera. So don't go out spending all this money on fancy equipment. If anything, try to purchase more storage on your phone. Even having like a little clip-on microphone can be good, but you don't need to spend like hundreds, thousands of dollars. Just go on Amazon, read good reviews, and you can invest in what you need. All you need is good audio, good lighting, good positioning. Notice how I said good and not perfect. That's important right there. Another important thing is SEO. You do not need perfect SEO, especially on YouTube, to get your videos to rank in 2024. When I did that interview with Gary Vee, he was even saying that, it was before I filmed it, he was telling someone else, he was like, yeah, in 2024, you don't need to have perfect tags or perfect hashtags. What YouTube cares about is, do people click and do people watch? That is it. The YouTube algorithm used to really look at tags and hashtags, but they don't do that anymore. They just simply measure, okay, who's clicking on the video. So what does matter is the topic, the thumbnail, and the title. You want that to be intriguing and of interest. And then when people click, you want to hold their attention and you want them to watch. Again, you could check out my impact script template. But people think that they're working with the algorithm, but what you're really working with is human psychology. Okay? If you're someone who's been posting on YouTube, you may have gotten messages from people saying, like, in your inbox, like, or in your comments, like, oh, like, you need to have perfect SEO before you rank your videos. That is not true. That's an outdated service. Maybe that'll change over time, but in the present moment, you don't need that. Just have good titles, good keywords in the title and in the description, first 200 characters, and that's it. I actually have a free template down below to write your YouTube description, so you can download that for free. But that's all you need to pay attention to. And you can even use tools like ChatGPT, which I'll talk about in the freebie down below. Another thing that you don't need to do is, again, you don't want to copy anyone or be like someone who you're not. So if I was starting in 2024, I would just be myself. And it took me the longest time to fully embrace what I'm doing and who I am. I used to think that, I would see other people in my niche and I thought, okay, I have to be that way. I have to be a certain way. But no, like, you have to be you, whatever that means. And I keep saying that YouTube is a personal development journey, and it's more about being more of who you are, more of tapping into your true spirit. And so I've worked with clients, and it's so beautiful to see their evolution because, and your first video will be your worst, so don't beat yourself up for that. But my clients, like, their first videos, they were like a robot. They were so uncomfortable, but over time, it's like their light begins to shine. They're more of who they are. They're more funny, more charismatic. They're more like nurturing, like more wise. And so you want to do that. You don't want to look at other people in your niche and be like, oh, they're being that certain way, so let me try to be that way. No. And I've done that before. One video, I was trying to be more like Mr. Beast. I remember it was one of my earlier videos, and so I was like yelling in my videos because he like yells a lot in some of his content, and so I was doing that, and later on I was like, what was I doing? Like, that wasn't me. And so you want content to feel really good to you. If your content feels like work, then that's when you want to reconsider it, because content shouldn't feel like work. It should flow out of you like water. And it should feel like so good after you post it. And if you have to force it out, that's when you really want to reconsider what you're doing. And that actually leads me into the next thing is, in 2024, if I was starting again, what I would do is I wouldn't like really attach to following the perfect script. It is good to have like a framework and a template to follow, but I used to follow a word-for-word script, and there were so many cons with that because, one, it would take forever to write out a word-for-word script. It was like I feel like I was writing a college paper, like, oh, I had to get all the grammar right and all the words right. And so what's better is to just have bullet points and just reference that. You can actually see mine right here. I just have bullet points. And this is just to jog my memory so that I can stay on point and not ramble. And so here, let me readjust this again. But yeah, if I was starting again, I wouldn't follow this perfect script. I would just have bullet points, and that gives you the freedom to be more you, because then you can, add in your own stories and ideas if they come naturally. And so that's a really good thing. And another thing that I would do in 2024 is I would, again, let content flow more out of me. There's a lot of people who say, like, oh, like, you have to follow this perfect posting schedule. Like, if you choose Monday at 3 p.m., you always have to post on that day. And it is good to commit to consistency. Absolutely do that. If you have a content schedule and it's working for you, continue to do that. But there may be some weeks when content is flowing more out of you and you can post more than once in that week. There may be other weeks when it's harder to create content. The past week, I was visiting my family back in the Midwest, and I wanted to spend quality time with my dogs, with my grandparents, because they're getting older. And also it was very gloomy there. Like, it wasn't like here where it's like nice and sunny and you get inspiration from the weather. No, it wasn't. Sorry if you live in a cold place, by the way, you don't like where you live. But the point is that for me, it was hard to create content. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to be present with my family. And it's okay that I don't follow this perfect posting schedule, because I'll pick it back up when I get back home. And again, it's okay to not be perfect, but if you do come off the track a bit, just come back on track. Just come back on. Like when they're sailing boats, like let's say a boat is trying to get from point A to point B, it's never like a perfect line. The wind steers it in different directions, and it always has to correct itself. That's kind of like YouTube and posting. If you fall off track, just correct yourself. Get back on track. It's always going to happen, and don't really hold on to that perfectionism, because then again, the YouTube journey won't be as enjoyable. When I started on YouTube, well, technically it was when I started interning for TEDx. Then I was into YouTube and social media and whatnot. But I was really attached to posting at a certain time, and if I didn't, I would kind of beat myself up. You don't want to do that, because that's not healthy, and it's not realistic. Realistically, you're human, and even your audience shouldn't expect you to be perfect. Another piece of advice, you probably heard this one. So there's a lot of people saying that, oh, YouTube shorts, they hurt your channel, blah, blah, blah. Don't post shorts. And there's some truth. They do give some good points. However, you do want to be posting shorts in 2024, but in the right way. So let me tell you about the right way. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to balance shorts with long form videos. You want to have a mix of both if you want to build a long-term and sustainable audience who is connected to you and your brand. And so what I recommend is to have a nice ratio. So for every long form, you can post 3 to 4 shorts after that. For every long form, that's how much you can post. And what I recommend when it comes to shorts is, one, you make them search-based so that people can come across you in the search bar. And so, for example, I have a handful of shorts. I have how to create a YouTube banner. I have one about ChatGPT. I have one about how to upload a YouTube short. And I have a bunch more that are constantly appearing in search over time. And they are connected to the long form video. So I'm constantly getting views, not just on my shorts, but also on my long form. And so it is bringing audience members to my channel who are actually interested in my long form content. And then another really smart thing with shorts is to have a freebie in there that you offer. Because especially you entrepreneurs, that will help you to grow your email list. So this one right here, the one I posted about how to create a YouTube banner, that one is connected to my long form, but also I told people to get my free banner template. And every single day, that is growing my email list. And what do I do with my email list? Well, I lead them into my live streams, into my long form videos. I even promote my products. I recently did a St. Patrick's Day sale, and I actually earned quite a few sales, up with the number right here, just from that one promotion. And I was looking at the analytics, and a number of them actually subscribed to my list from that free Canva banner template, believe it or not. And so just from that, look at that. That's how much I earned from this short. And that's why you want to treat your YouTube channel like a business, because you don't need to rely on AdSense. Do you know how many views on shorts you would need to earn this much money? You would need I don't know the exact number, but probably millions to earn that much money. YouTube Shorts, the ad revenue really doesn't pay a lot. And then, lastly, if I was starting on YouTube in 2024, again, I wouldn't hold on to the belief that I need to have like this big budget. However, once you start earning money, I do recommend that you reinvest that back into your channel. Yes, it is good to get better equipment. Yes, it is good to get, better software to like edit your shorts, to, run your business like I have Kajabi, which, by the way, you can sign up for down below, and I do offer a 1-hour strategy session, and that helps you with the business stuff. But it is good to reinvest the profits back into knowledge and into networking. And so I recently got connected to this mastermind here in San Diego, and they're like all 7-figure earners, and they actually invited me to this mansion this upcoming week, and we're just going to network. We're going to talk about marketing and YouTube, and I bet you I'm going to get a client from that. And that's from me investing in this mastermind. And so when you invest in getting into the right rooms with people, when you invest in networking and knowledge, advancing your knowledge and expertise and your skills, like, I'm telling you, like, the return on investment is crazy, like insane. Like, and not only that, you not only get a financial return, but you also build relationships, you create amazing experiences. I'll tell you more about that mansion that I'm going to. It's part of a retreat. But they actually invited me to be a speaker and talk about YouTube, which is amazing. And that's what I mean, like, and that's why I love YouTube and social media, because you don't want it to use you, you want to use it. In other words, when you use it, it can lead to opportunities in real life. It can lead to memories, to real in-person experiences that just make things like, it just makes the human experience so amazing, in my opinion. So yeah, that one's big for me. And yeah, I mean, these people, I mean, it's kind of like, it's kind of like you find your tribe as well. And so, yeah, I always tell my clients that there's 2 worlds to master. You have the digital world and you have the real world. And so, yes, it's good to be posting on YouTube, but let that lead to opportunities in real life. Use your YouTube as a portfolio for speaking gigs. Like, use it to get opportunities like I did for Kajabi. Build a relationship with clients, and eventually you can build like a team and whatnot around your personal brand. And I can go on, but that's what I would be doing if I were starting a YouTube channel in 2024. So I hope you take my advice. I hope you learn from my mistakes in the beginning so that you go on to build an amazing YouTube channel and an amazing personal brand. And if any of this resonates with you and you would like more information on how I can help you to your viewers and to buyers and build a powerful personal brand and really get mentorship, not just with the YouTube and with the business, but just with life overall and personal development, there is a link down below where you can apply to work with me. Once you fill that out, I will reach out to you and I'll answer any questions. We'll continue the conversation, and then I will tell you all about the different levels of my support. So I do have options for people who are on a tighter budget, but I also have options for people who are ready to go all in. They're ready to invest to get their YouTube and their business and their life to that next level. I'm telling you all, this stuff is very powerful. My last client who signed on with me, Abdul, just in less than a week, I kid you not, he got more than 15K subscribers. He came with me with it was like 690 something, and now it's like 715, and it keeps on growing. And he went through my whole course, he implemented my advice, and that just comes to show the power in this. My client, Dominique, we did a podcast together. You can check it out right here. She earned $10,000 in her first 3 weeks with me, and she had a baby on the way, okay? And this wasn't one of those things where I held Abdul's or Dominique's hand. No, they showed up, they did the work, they were motivated, they were empowered, they were ready to change, and they did what it took. That's what this is. I work with people who take responsibility. They're motivated, they want it bad enough. And if that's you, go ahead and apply down below. And also drop a hashtag I'm a creator so that I can see who you are, because I just want to see the action takers. I thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you for the next one.